Hey, third graders, happy Monday. It's Miss Cathcart here, and I am going to teach the ELA Mini-Lesson for Monday, August 24th. Our learning target for today's lesson is I can answer who, what, where, when, why, and how to show I understand key details. So let's just take a look a little bit at these questions that we're going to be finding answers to. Who are the main characters in this story? What is the problem in the story? Where and when does a story take place? So also known as the setting. Why did the character behave a certain way? And how was the problem resolved in this story? So as we read our story today, we're going to be answering those questions together. Before we get started, I want you to think, what does it mean to be a bad seed? So take just a second. Have you ever heard of that phrase before? So essentially, calling someone a bad seed is a way of saying that they're dishonest, mean, or have bad behavior most of the time. This actually is also the name of our story, The Bad Seed. So as we're reading the story, I want you to think about the answers to these 6 W questions. Again, who, what, where, when, why, and how. If we can answer those questions, we can better understand the key details and ideas in a story. So let's get started.
The Bad Seed, written by Jory John, illustrated by Pete Oswald. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences, and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed.
So already we're starting to learn a few of the answers to our questions. So I want you to think, who is the main character that's been introduced in the story? That main character is the bad seed. And also, we've answered what's the problem in the story? Well, he's a bad seed. He behaves badly. Can you remember any of the things or examples that he said he has done? I know I can. He glares at everybody. He cuts in line. He doesn't wash his hands. And not only does he feel like a bad seed, the other seeds call him a bad seed. So we haven't quite really learned any of the other answers to our questions, but we've learned who the main character is, and right now what the problem is, which is he's a bad seed. He behaves badly, and everyone knows it. Let's see if we can find out some more details to answer these W questions.
Bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed. on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close.
So already I'm learning, okay, the where and when the story at least first takes place in the past, which is on a beautiful sunflower because, well, he's a sunflower seed. We've also learned that he does have a family, but we'll have to read to find out if any of his family members become main and important characters in this story.
But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. Everything went dark. And then, a giant! I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, but I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. Then I woke up. It was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me.
So we've learned quite a bit more about seeds' backgrounds. This story gets a little tricky because there's not one setting from the story. He seems to move around a bit. He's gone from the sunflower to the sunflower bag of seeds, right? To he kind of landed on that wad of gum. But now if you notice on this page, he kind of just lives in a soda can and drifts from place to place. But really, we've also been able to answer, why did the character behave in a certain way? So really, why does he behave so badly? And this is a bit of a deep question if you think about it. But in order to answer that, you really have to go back to, what has he gone through? Well, he's essentially been put away from his whole family. He was almost swallowed. He's a bit beat up, and now he's alone. He doesn't have any friends. He's by himself. So he's just given up on things. He's had a bit of a rough past. So as we read the rest of the story, I want you to think, how is the problem resolved? So how is his problem resolved of being a bad seed? Does he continue to stay a bad seed? Or does something else happen? But we really kind of understand now how he's become a bad seed, which is he's had a rough go of it.
Until recently, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad, sometimes, I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look, There goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that.
And I just love how that story ends. And I love the line, well, maybe I'm not actually that bad. Because really, if you think about it, was he that bad? I don't think he was. I think he just kind of had some struggles in life and reacted to them. So in the end, we learned, well, how was his problem resolved? He simply decided to try to be better, right? He wanted to try and be kind to others, try to listen and be patient. He wasn't always perfect, but then again, who is? So today our important takeaway is that we asked and answered those W questions as we read the story The Bad Seed to help us understand the key details of the story. Now let me just explain what your assignment for the day is, your practice ELA assignment. You're going to click and drag the ways to make seed feel good. If you finish that assignment, you may do the extension optional ELA practice, right? That is a choice. You do not have to do that if you do not have time, which is essentially, you can go and explore all of those awesome Bitmoji classrooms that us third grade teachers have been creating. There's amazing links and games that I think you guys will really enjoy. So once you log on to your It's Learning ELA course, this is the assignment you will see. The directions are this. Nobody is bad. We're all just good seeds having a bad day. We all make mistakes and we can learn from those mistakes. What you're going to do is you're going to click and drag over here 6 things we can do to make seed feel good. So you'll notice that there are 12 actions here, but only 6 of those are things that we could do to kind of help him feel better. And again, this is things that you can do in your real life if someone's having a bad day, maybe a sibling, a parent, or a friend. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to dig deeper into Bad Seed tomorrow with you to answer those questions and go a little bit deeper. Bye.